Thanks for inviting me, Mr. and Mrs. Heffley. I hear their ball pit is super deep.
Hey, I'm Jeff Kinney, author of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. Today, we're going to learn to draw Rowley, Greg's best friend. I always start with the eyes, and there are these two little dots. And Rowley really only has two expressions, mouth open happy and mouth open sad. It's very rare that Rowley actually has his mouth closed. I only really do it if Rowley is eating something or making a really unusual expression. I think that by having a gap between his teeth, it makes Rowley into a very friendly looking character. So that's why he's got that expression. Rowley's got a little bit of detail in his ear. And then he's got these kind of flyaway hairs. Just a few hairs and they're a little bit messy. I want you to really see Rowley as a friendly looking character and a youthful character.
My mom's really strict about her 1 hour limit on screen time.
1 hour a day, that's all they need.
1 hour a week.
He's actually my favorite character because he's not in a rush to grow up. I think that Greg and kids like I was just want to get to the next step. They want to get older so they're a little bit freer. They can see a movie with a bigger rating, or they can stay up a little bit later, or have some more independence. But Rowley actually likes being a kid. And I wish that as a kid, I liked being a kid more and really enjoyed it a lot more. Because I think I was just like Greg and I was in a rush to get older.
I'm not sure that's how maps work.
So Rowley is kind of like a stack of blocks on top of each other. So he doesn't have that looseness or that curviness that Greg has. He's really like, he's a bunch of right angles in certain ways.
Please don't tell my parents.
My characters are usually drawn in the 3/4 position, which means they're not sideways and they're not looking right at you. They're turned a little bit. So that's why sometimes you can't see much of the character's arms.
Why don't we watch the latest Mac Digby video?
Rowley's shapes are much different than Greg's. They're very boxy. He's kind of a thicker character. And the reason for that is because he's different than Greg in just about every way. And you have to ask yourself with Rowley and Greg is how did these two guys become friends? But I think you see this a lot in friendships. You see opposites. They say opposites attract. And that's certainly the case with Greg and Rowley. And that's how you draw Rowley.